eggs. Our Spanish friends suggested that we try a burnt cheesecake that originated in the Basque region in the north of Spain. Apparently, if one likes cheesecake and crème brûlée, they will love this caramelized dairy sensation. So let's make some in this episode. Many of the ingredients you might remember from your previous cheesecake baking sessions, such as cream cheese, and quite a lot of it actually. You will also need some fine sugar, a few medium-sized eggs, heavy cream with at least 30% fat, a bit of cake flour, as well as a teaspoon of vanilla extract. All of your ingredients shall be at room temperature, so make sure to get them out of the refrigerator on time. Before we begin, preheat your oven to 210 degrees Celsius or 410 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as place the rack one level below the middle slot. Great. Now let's prepare our Basque cheesecake batter by combining the cream cheese with the fine castor sugar until you get a homogeneous mass and the sugar dissolves. Next up, the eggs, which we will mix in one by one. If you don't, the eggs might not properly emulsify with the batter, and that, believe me, would be bad, like really bad. So make sure to not be lazy here and take your time. Once you mixed in 3 of the eggs one by one, separate the yolk of the 4th one and mix it in as well. Keep the egg white, it's a perfect source of protein that you can use for your next omelette, maybe during tomorrow's breakfast. After mixing in the yolk, do the same with the heavy cream, followed by 2 tablespoons of cake flour. If you have a sieve, run the flour through it, which will help with preventing lumps. Last but not least, whisk in a pinch of salt as well as a teaspoon of vanilla extract that will not only add a subtle vanilla taste, but also act as an overall flavor enhancer. Some recipes moreover call for lemon juice, but based on our research, the original Basque cheesecake doesn't. So we will leave it out. Give everything a good whisk and grab your baking form, which should be around 20 centimeters or 8 inch in diameter. Ours was also rather deep at around 10 centimeters or 4 inch. You can use one that's smaller, but make sure to not fill up the batter to the edge of the rim. We want our parchment paper, which we will place into our butter-greased baking pan to stand out almost 5 centimeters or 2 inches. Use a second parchment paper if one is not enough to fully cover the wall of your baking pan. We don't want any of the batter to run between the paper and the pan. Press the paper against your baking form in order to reduce voids, but there is no need to act like a steamroller here. Meaning, don't fully flatten out all of the parchment paper, which will give our Basque cheesecake a more authentic shape and browning. Good. Now grab your batter and pour it in there. Only fill up to 3/4 of the form with batter, for it will rise and almost double in size. Use a plastic spatula and leave no drop behind. Tappy-tap your baking pan a few times so that any bubbles within can rise to the surface. Now show the people what you learned in Tinker class and cut the outstanding parchment paper to an even size. One last tap and off we go into the preheated oven for around 1 hour. The form should be in the middle of the oven. It took us almost 65 minutes in our conventional electric oven at 210 degrees Celsius. Place the form on a cooling rack and leave alone for a few hours. It is still wobbly and needs to set before cutting. Around 2 to 3 hours should be fine for it to set enough in order to consume, and the middle still being heavenly soft. Don't put it into the fridge during the first cooling. Transfer your Basque cheesecake on a flat plate, get rid of the excess baking paper, and there you go. An eye-catching beauty with a strongly browned, partly burnt skin that will please your taste buds very much. Our Basque cheesecake recipe yields 8 delicious pieces, so surprise your family and friends and serve everyone with a generous portion, for they won't get enough. Buen provecho! Make sure to join our community and share your favorite dessert from your home country with us in the comment section below. Oh wow, you can taste the caramelized parts very well. Thank you, my Spanish friends, very delicious.